Good evening. Welcome to Kent County Levy Court combined meeting for August 10th, Tuesday, August 10th, 2021 at 555 Bay Road, Dover, Delaware. We're in Levy Court Chambers, room 203. Before we proceed to the business meeting, I'll ask the county administrator to explain how we'll be using WebEx and call-in tonight.
Thank you, President Pepper, and good evening, everyone. This meeting is being offered in person at 555 Bay Road in the Levy Court Chamber, as well as virtually via WebEx software. And for those who may be joining the meeting via WebEx, just a few basic instructions as we proceed. We ask that you keep your phone or computer on mute throughout the meeting, and except for those times when you need to address Levy Court at the appropriate times, and we will provide instruction at those points. But basically, if you're on a phone, you can be recognized by pressing *3 on your phone, and we can bring you into the meeting, or you can unmute yourself at that point. And if you're using a computer, there's an icon at the bottom, typically, of the screen that would indicate a hand symbol, and you can press that, and you'll be recognized, and we can bring you into the meeting that way. This meeting, as an official proceeding of the Levy Court, is being conducted under the rules known as Mason's Rules, as well as the Levy Court adopted rules of procedure for business and committee meetings. Mr. President, turn the board back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Time's now 7:01. We'll come to order, and I'll ask Commissioner Howell to lead us in invocation, Commissioner Maston lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Sweeney, a moment of silence for our troops and first responders. All rise.
Heavenly Father, once again we come before your presence, and we pray that you'll guide us in all of our deliberations, and that they will be fair and honest and pleasing to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence to honor our military, law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, and other first responders who have lost their lives in line of duty, protecting and fighting for our freedoms. We also honor all first responders and medical staff who have succumbed to COVID-19 virus complications contracted through close interaction with infected patients, losing their lives caring for others. Please remember these individuals and their families in your thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss of their loved ones. Chief Master Sergeant Tress King from Rayford, North Carolina. Deputy Sheriff Philip Campus from the Kent County Sheriff's Office in California. Police Officer Marquise Moore from the Selma Police Department in Alabama. Police Officer Ryan Blake from Red Lake Nation Police Department. Trooper Micah May from the Nevada Highway Patrol in Nevada. Police Officer Jonathan Gum from McCord Police Department at the Department of Defense, Pentagon. Supervisory Border Patrol Agent Daniel Cox from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Police Officer Lewis Andrew Traylor from the Austin Police Department in Texas. Police Officer Scott Russell, Dawley, Nelsonville Police Department in Ohio. Police Officer George Gonzalez from the Pentagon Force Protection Agency. Police Officer Brian Russell Pierce from the Brooklyn Police Department in Illinois. Deputy Sheriff Brandon Shirley from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office in Kentucky. Police Officer Elia French from the Chicago Police Department, Illinois. Firefighter Danny Ireton from the Stanton Volunteer Fire Department in Texas. And Firefighter Eric Newman from the Snow Creek Rescue Squad in Franklin County, Virginia. Please keep all of these officers, firefighters, and military in your thoughts and prayers, as well as their families deal with the loss of their loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Sweeney. Mr. Naka, can we have a roll call to determine quorum, please?
Mr. Angel?
Present.
Mr. Buxton?
Present.
Mr. Hall?
Present.
Mr. Howell?
Here.
Mrs. Maston?
Present.
Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
Mr. Pepper?
Here.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 present.
Thank you. We do have quorum. Need a motion for adoption of this evening's agenda.
Move to approve, Mr. President.
Motion by Commissioner Angel, second by Commissioner Sweeney
Perfect.
to approve this evening's agenda. And roll call, please.
Mr. Angel?
Yes.
Mr. Buxton?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. The agenda for this evening has been approved. The first item on the agenda is presentations. We have 2 presentations this evening and some introductions. The first presentation is for Law Enforcement Agency Grant Check presentation to the Delaware State Police. And this evening we have Captain Rodney Layfield with us from Troop 3, and we'll ask him to come forward, and commissioners, all of us, go down front, and the county administrator. Okay. Back in June, we approved police grants to all the municipalities and to the Delaware State Police. As you all know, the Delaware State Police is a primary law enforcement agency within Kent County. Kent County does not have any law enforcement, such as Newcastle County, and we rely on the Delaware State Police to do many things, and one of them is to protect and serve us. We also issued police grants to all the municipalities that had police departments, and right now we're in the process of handing those checks out to those folks. And so far they've been greatly appreciated because it was money they weren't expecting to get. Well, we gave $400,000 in police grants, and we earmarked $100,000 to the Delaware State Police for operations here in Kent County. So I have that check here this evening. And the only things that we require after giving this to you is that 1, the money is spent in Kent County by law enforcement, Delaware State Police. 2, you give us a little letter to tell us what you spent the money on. And that's it. Any other commissioners want to say anything before I hand this check over? Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Your counterpart from Troop 9 is not here, but if you want, we'll be real quiet about it and use it Troop 3.
Too late.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, Jody.
So just tonight, I had the opportunity to hand out the check to Viola Town Council. So like President Pepper said, they're very appreciative. We hope you guys can use this to our advantage.
So we'll present the check to you. I'll hand the check to you. There's a letter in here that explains what you need to do in order to just give us a letter and make sure you spend it in Kent County for your law enforcement practices here, whether it be initiatives or equipment or whatever. We don't really care, just as long as it's spent in Kent County.
On behalf of the men and women of the Delaware State Police throughout the state, but specifically those that are going to be working in Kent County to utilize this money, we want to thank you. We're very appreciative to this. This is something, again, that we were not expecting, and it's great in this time when you're hearing different rhetorics throughout the nation. We have the support of Kent County, and we really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we can get a picture.
Close up.
Yeah,
Cozy.
close in, everybody. All right, great. You're beautiful. Captain, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Go back and sit down now. Bring your wheels, come back. Okay, Employee of the Month for August 2021.
Mr. President, the Employee of the Month presentation's rescheduled until next week.
Okay, great. Have introductions. Mr. Guella.
Thank you, President Pepper. We do have 4 employees to introduce tonight, and the first will be introduced by Director of Facilities Sam Vasquez. He'll be followed by Assistant Director of Community Services for the Parks and Recreation Division, Mike Rigby, and the final 2 will be introduced by the Honorable Harold K. Broad, Kent County Register of Wills, and we'll try to reschedule the 5th employee for the next meeting. Sam.
Thank you, Alan. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm honored to present Aaron Cooper, who was hired on July 26th as custodian in the Facilities Management Office. He most recently worked as a customer service agent for FedEx. Prior to that, he worked for Mid-Atlantic Cleaning Services as a maintenance worker. Aaron resides in Commissioner Sweeney and Pepper's districts. Aaron, we welcome you to the family.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you for this opportunity. Count it a privilege to even be considered for this position. Everyone this far has welcomed me with open arms. And it's also good to see a familiar face. Commissioner Buxton, good to see you, sir. In fact, he was a teacher at the former high school that I attended, which was Polytech High School. That just lets me know I'm in great company. And I look forward to building a future here and being an effective asset to this great personnel you guys have. Thank you.
Mr. Sweeney?
Thank you, sir. Aaron, welcome aboard. I'm sure since you've been here for a couple weeks already, you've seen the quality work that is done here. We have high expectations for those who fall into your shoes, so we think you'll be able to do great. Looks great out there right now. Thank you very much, and welcome aboard.
Welcome. Hope you have a long career here. Sam, I'm sure Sam will guide you as what's expected. So take care and best of luck to you.
Good evening, Commissioners and Mr. Pettit-Amage. I'd like to introduce Neil Keller. He's our newest park maintenance worker employee for the Division of Parks and Recreation. A little background on Neil. Neil attended Wesley College and acquired a bachelor's degree in environmental science, and he also attended Del Tech and acquired a environmental science engineering technology degree. Along with his full-time employment here at Kent County, Neil also currently works part-time for UPS and part-time for his family-owned home construction business, Prettyman Builders. Neil previously worked for Landscapes. It's a landscape company out of Felton, cultured seafood, and performed an internship at the Delaware Center for Inland Bays. What I personally like most about Neil is that Neil is, and this might sound old school, he's respectful, he's polite, he's very professional, he's eager to learn. And speaking with Neil, Neil has a good head on his shoulders for a good future here with Kent County Parks and Recreation. So I want to welcome Neil to Kent County Parks and Recreation. So.
Is this thing on? Okay. Thank you for the opportunity to work here. I hope to have a long-lasting career in Parks and Recreation.
Commissioner Angel?
Well, welcome, Neil, to the Levy Court family. Our outdoor parks are pristine, and I know that you're going to continue that voyage for us because we hire the best and we expect the most out of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
As Parks and Recreation Chair, Commissioner Sweeney, would you like to say anything?
Thanks. Neil, welcome aboard. Again, you know, we know that whoever you're taking over for or joining, they have a long history of doing really, really good work in our parks. I'm sure Mike will guide you in that direction as well as the rest of the staff. These are all jewels that we very much appreciate everything that they do for us, and you'll see that in future years with us. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, and hope you have a long career. You're working with a great group of people. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, I was looking over the list here. I was looking to see if we had anybody from Amazon. We have FedEx and UPS. I was looking for Amazon, but I guess we don't have that. And the next introduction, Wills, Register of Wills.
Commissioners, Mr. Pettit-Damage, Mr. Lyson, gives me great pleasure to introduce a couple new people in our office tonight. The first one, Renee. First one is Renee Bethard. She was hired on August the 2nd of this year as the new Deputy Register of Wills. Most recently, she worked as a real estate title examiner for the Kirsch Law Firm. Prior to that, she was a paralegal for David Finacaro for 15 years? And I would like to welcome her to our office. And also, I told her this is a family-oriented court, Levy Court here, so welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brody.
About an hour.
I was not prepared for an hour speech, but I can say that I'm very pleased to be here, and I will perform my duties at Register of Wills with honesty and integrity, and I just find it very exciting. It's a field that I worked for when I did work for Mr. Finacaro, probated estates, and that is my passion, and I look to learn to continue to grow and be a part of the family, and thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you. Commissioner Maston, this is in your district and mine?
Congratulations, Renee. I've known you for many, many years, and I know the quality of your work, and I know integrity is very important to you. But welcome aboard, and may you have many, many years here with Kent County Levy Court.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Has Ms. Bethard been sworn in yet?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you have a great career here and a long career. You as well are working with a great group of people, so I'm sure you'll find that everybody here in this building is like family, so welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And you have another person.
Yep. Patty Golden was hired August the 3rd, 2021 as a Wills Clerk 1 in our office. She I see Captain Layfield's gone. She most recently was Administrator Assistant for the Delaware State Police. Prior to moving to the expungement section, she worked as a professional licensor of our Levy Court family.
I'm happy to join the team. I'm learning a lot, and it's nice to be a part of something helping families through their grieving process and understanding how to settle their estates and get their affairs together so that they can go on with their lives. So it's a great team, and it's a really nice atmosphere to work in. Thank you.
Commissioner Masson, another one.
Congratulations, Patricia, and I wish you the very best for a very long career with Kent County Levy Court. You got a great team to work with.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'll find that you came from a great organization to a great organization. So best of luck to you, and welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
Okay, and no more? Okay, thank you. We have another introduction. Marshall Tribbett is not here this evening. We'll introduce him on another evening. Moving on down the agenda, at this time we have a public hearing. At this time, we'll open the public hearing, and I'll turn that over to County Administrator to open that.
Would you like Commissioner Maston to open that?
Introducing for the public hearing tonight, ordinance LC 21-14, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of Kent County refunding revenue bonds in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for the benefit of the American Legion Ambulance Station 64 Incorporated to refinance its ambulance station located at 900 Smyrna Clayton Boulevard in Smyrna, Delaware. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Does anybody have any questions before we open the public hearing? Seeing none, at this time, we'll open the public hearing on ordinance LC 21-4. Please come forward. Anyone in favor, please come forward.
If we have any guests on WebEx, we may have bond counsel who wishes to address Levy Court this time. Emily, if you're ready, you can unmute yourself and join the meeting.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, great. So as was read into the record, this is a bond financing for American Legion Ambulance Station, $1.5 million. And this is not debt of the county. You're just facilitating the tax-exempt lower rate to benefit the ambulance station. And there's no limit on the amount of bonds you can issue. So I believe Jenny Havel as well is on and can speak in support. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Everyone's shaking their head no, Emily.
Okay, great.
Anyone else online, Mark?
There's no one else online who would like to speak in this on this matter now.
Okay, at this time, we'll ask anyone opposed to this ordinance, LC 21-14, to please come forward. Anyone opposed, please come forward.
For the record, if anyone is online who wishes to address Levy Court in opposition, they can unmute if you're on the mobile phone, *3 will raise your hand. We can bring you into the meeting, or unmute yourself on your computer.
Jeanette Havel, did you want to speak on this matter?
Not in opposition.
Okay. Did you want to speak in favor of it?
Yes, I am with the American Legion Ambulance Company. And as I explained to the council originally when I spoke with them in person, again, support of this bill will, again, as a standalone ambulance company with diverse revenue streams, being able to reduce our interest debt by almost $70,000 would certainly go a long way in allowing us to continue to serve the communities in Kent County. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, at this time I can see no other hands are raised to speak on this matter.
Okay, at this time, we'll close the public hearings. I'll turn the ordinance over to Commissioner Maston for a motion.
Sorry. An ordinance authorizing the issuance of the Kent County refunding revenue bonds in an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 for the benefit of the American Legion Ambulance Station 64 Incorporated to refinance its ambulance station located at 900 Smyrna Clayton Boulevard in Smyrna, Delaware.
That's your motion?
That's my motion to accept.
Second the motion.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Masson, second by Commissioner Angel to approve ordinance LC 21-14. Any questions before we take the vote?
Mr. Angel?
Yes, reason stated by Commissioner Maston and no opposition.
Mr. Buxton?
Reason stated, yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Howell?
Yes, reason stated.
Mrs. Maston?
Yes, for reasons stated.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes, for all reasons stated.
Mr. Pepper?
Yes, for all reasons stated, and makes good fiscal sense.
Mr. President, roll call reveals 7 yeas.
Thank you. We'll close the public hearings and we'll recess to committee meetings. We'll call the committee meetings to order. We still have 7 commissioners present. And the first item on the agenda is Mr. Buxton, Planning Services Committee. Turn over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. I believe Ms. Keefe will be down here for a momentary briefing.
Good evening, Commissioners. What's in front of you this evening at this point should look fairly familiar. We have a request from the town of Magnolia to take on property maintenance code enforcement within their boundary. So this is similar to the request from Viola, Little Creek, Farmington, et cetera. And in anticipation of the capacity question, at this point, we've been able to manage the additional caseload. It's been fairly minor, but we'll continue to monitor it. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Commissioner Pepper?
Anticipate any others coming on board like this? It seems to be a rash of them here lately.
There aren't many left. We haven't heard, I guess Bowers has left, Hartley, Lipset. We've not heard from them. But I suspect when they run into a problem they can't manage, we'll be hearing from them.
Okay. Should they all come aboard, would you still be able to handle them with the staff that you have?
We don't have enough data yet because this has all been very recent. We've got, in one town, we've got up to 4 cases, but in most towns it's just 1. If that maintains, then we can probably continue to manage. Overall, as we start developing the budget for the next fiscal year, we're going to take a look at all of our enforcement numbers as well, because cases go up throughout the unincorporated area as well.
Great. Any other questions?
Yes. President Pepper, do we ever go out and ask the municipalities whether it's something we just kind of wait for them to come in and say, hey, can you help us? Informally,
I do it all the time. And Commissioner Sweeney does, and I know you do. So, informally, and I think that's probably how some of this got started, by us asking the question. So. Okay, I just want to make sure that I wouldn't be out of line if I reached out to one of these, because I know that there are issues there. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Okay, show of hands, move this forward. 7-0. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Keeper. Any public comments regarding this topic? Public comments?
We have no more public participants on the WebEx platform at this time.
Seeing none, moving on.
Thank you. Commissioner Angel, Administration Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Before you get started, there's a familiar face in the audience that I'm particularly glad to see back, and she's sitting right in front of us. We're happy to have you back, and looks like Looks like everything has healed.
She wants us all to introduce ourselves.
Hey, Kim, you'll need to. Kim, you need to press the microphone.
I'm sorry. There, now we go. There.
She's been gone that long.
That really didn't need to be on the recording, but thank you, commissioners, and good evening. So tonight I'm here. I'm happy to inform you that the IT office has completed a redesign and look and feel of the county web pages for the property information, otherwise known as PRIDE. Tonight, Joe Simmons is here with me, and we would like to give you a demonstration of these web pages. And what you'll see is a current look and feel, much easier navigation on the pages. The data is organized much better than the current PRIDE because it has tabs, and you could, if you want billing, you have a certain tab and so on and so forth. The web pages are mobile friendly, so if you have a touch screen, you can easily navigate through the screens by touching. And the data is real-time data. Currently on the PRIDE system, the data is 1 day in arrears. In addition to the pages that we've updated, we've also updated our disclaimer of liability. Users will need to agree to this disclaimer before seeing the property information pages, and this disclaimer has been reviewed and authorized by the county attorney. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Joe. Joe will give you a demonstration of the pages.
Okay. This is on your screen you're looking at today is what we have on your left-hand side is our current PRIDE system that everybody in the county is very familiar with, and probably most of the public what we use. This is being used by the public and also internally within the workers in Kent County to look up property information. This is the screen you get on the left-hand side. Like you said, if you're familiar with it, you get the menus. And what we did is that we wanted to go to a more updated visual representation. So we took that menu and made it tabs to make it a lot easier to read for both the public and also if you're vision impaired, to make it more functional. As you go through, you can look up properties by owner, address, map number, your property ID. You can do a subdivision lot search. You can look up by tax account if you know the tax account number. And also a new feature that we don't have on the old system is you can also look it up by using a map. The county map is embedded into the website. So you don't have to go from the mapping system and then come back over to the PRIDE system. You can do it from all in one system from within here. So that's a new feature. The searching, it's like the old system. You can put in a name, search, and it comes up. And what it does is that now it's called page which happens, it doesn't show you all 87 records on one page. You can get a certain amount of records on page. You can just paste the record you want to search for. Okay. You can take this. This is my property. You can do a search. It comes up with the map number, the property location, and your municipality, and also now it gives you a count of how many records you returned. Before the old system just listed all, it didn't really give you a good count. Okay. It comes up with the information on the property. It has the property address, the map number. It has the parcel information number, the owner, the location, and also district information, whether you're in your school district, ambulance district, fire district. Very similar to the PRIDE system, but everything is more laid out graphically and a lot easier to view, in our opinion, the feedback we got from the county workers. We have your building information, whether your square foot, year was built, your assessment, your previous sales information for your sales on file, your tax billing, your current tax billing, This is being utilized through our financial system, so it's a pass-through. So it'll be online, up-to-date, interactively. Okay? And I don't have no permits, but I'll show you a permit. If I did have a permit on my property, it would show up on here, my permits. And it does the new MGO permit system, and it pulls in historical permits that from previous years.
Commissioner Sweeney has a question.
Joe, can you do me a favor, go back to the summary?
Yeah.
Down in the district information, click on the little picture. Yeah, that.
Okay.
So that's a nice feature.
It's not a feature. Let me talk about that feature. What it does is that this technology, or the new technology web pages, allowed us to do things like put links. It's very customizable. And if I go back to the old Pride, as you can see, it's not very customizable. I'll put it here. So really, you really can't do nothing. It's really stagnant. I mean, you do have your last billing information, but right here is my district, and as you can see, I can't click it or do nothing there. So, everything pretty much is on one screen.
I do like the presentation very much. I think that's great. I mean, we have the ability, technology exists to be able to do that. I would ask that you add a second icon there for the at-large commissioner.
Okay. Okay. I thought of that.
It would mean every one of them has two icons, one for their local commissioner and then one for the at-large. I wanted to beat Commissioner Pepper to that.
I wasn't going to say that. I mean, it was going to be real nice that the only picture come up is the commissioner from that district. So.
Right. Let me show you another feature. Like you said, some of this stuff can be very expanded on. I'm gonna go for a tax account number, and if somebody wanted to come in around tax time and put their tax number in there, obviously looks it up again, and it has the address, the map number, the municipality again, and the primary owner. Now, the reason you can put primary owner here because some properties have multiple owners, 2, 3. It's fine with 2, but we have properties that have 3 or 4 owners out there, so that will make a big difference as far as the property there. So let's spin it up a little bit. So it comes here. Again, I have my summary page, the buildings, the sales history, the billing. But on this billing page, there's a tab 2. So my total amount due for my bill has your tax ID number, user count, your base tax, any penalties. But you can click here, and it'll automatically take you to the bill payment. Again, it automatically calculation automatically. So that's saving a user one step. Currently now with our old website, they will have to go, if they didn't know the tax billing number, they will have to go to the old Pride, come to our website, navigate 2 or 3 pages, get here, and then pay their bill. But now it's pretty much a link for one site. And the goal was this, is to kind of like, one, is to make it visual, easy for the public to get around our site and navigate. And also 2 is to kind of get as much information in one area so we can go one site, one place, and get as much information about a parcel or property within inside the county. So I think we've done a very good job at that. And just a caveat, we're still working out a lot of features. We can still add new features in here that we can potentially develop over time with the need. So it's a good tool going forward to progress this technology. This is on tablet, your phone. Every functionality on here now, you can do it from your phone or your tablet. So,
Commissioner Buxton?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. That's awesome. Looks great. And it's, well, the bottom line is it looks great. It's exciting to look at. With that said, can you go to the buildings page? I'm looking for something.
Billings?
Yeah. Right, there's billing. Okay, so billing base tax 30.